Hi, faithful ladypreneurs. Thanks so much for being here with me today, where we are going to talk about goal setting. Surprise, surprise for January, right? But we're going to look at it from a divine standpoint. And we're also going to look at it in maybe a different way than you have thought of before, regardless of where you're at on your goal right now. So as you are listening in, I want to see some hi Elises in the comment chat, and just tell me who is watching here, whether this is a replay or live, because today I want you to get honest with yourself. You probably set some New Year's resolutions, and if not, you have set some goals that you have maybe set even before the beginning of the year. So regardless of how you're doing on that goal, hi Wanda, I really want you to think and be honest with yourself of how you're doing on those goals. Whether that's personal or business, it doesn't matter. This 3-step technique I'm going to teach you here today can be applied to any goal. So let's dive right in here. And the nice thing about it is that you can start over at any time. Guys, goals are not set in stone. It's not like we're out there chiseling it in the stone and saying that I have to do this by this exact time, otherwise I'm a complete failure. And that's why a lot of times we don't set goals. That is so not the case. If you feel like you are not going to hit the goal, readjust. That is how you can always guarantee yourself success. And then the other way to do so, because remember it's about progress, not perfection, the other way to do so is to set a goal you can control with these 3 steps. Okay, first step 1 is strategy. And the biblical success principle around this is Proverbs 4:26. Ponder the path of thy feet, and let all thy ways be established. I love that concept because we do have to ponder our path before we get started. We can't just put a goal out there and say, okay, I'm gonna do this. I have no idea how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna do it. Remember, it's faith without works is dead. We can have that faith, but we have to have the works. And we also need to have that faith as we're doing the works, right? So if this is ringing true to you, I wanna see some amens as we go through this, because it is going to be life-changing as you put this in place for your goals. Okay, so first off, step 1 is strategy, and that is set a goal you can control. So many times we get confused with our target and our actual goal. Your revenue goal is actually your target. That's keeping your eye on the ball of saying, this is how much I want to make, or this is even how many pounds I want to lose, or however you want to say that, right? Like I said, this can apply to life or business. So that's that first thing, is don't confuse the target with your goal. If you say that your goal is X amount of dollars per month, can you control that 100%? No, you can influence it, but we want to be able to control it. So I will give you an example. And a lot of you guys have already heard this, but I love this example because it was so true to me, is that when I was in a network marketing company several years ago, I set a goal, just like everybody does, of getting this car. I knew that if I got my company up to this certain limit or level, that I would be able to get a car paid for every single month. And so I fell in love with this electric blue 4-door sports model hardtop Mini Cooper. Oh my heavens, I love this car. And so I did what everybody does. And I said, okay, I'm going to give myself a year. I'm going to follow the whole SMART technique concept. And I'm going to say this is specific and measurable and achievable and time-bound and all that kind of stuff. And I'm going to get my car. Well, I started to show more people, like they talk about in network marketing, and I went out there and I did it, and I just tried to, well, I should say I tried to do it as much as I could. I tried to show as many people, but I got frustrated because you can't control if someone buys from you. But what you can do is you can influence that. And think about in your sales process or any kind of process to get to the goal that you want to achieve. Think about what are the steps that need to happen in order to do that you can control, because that is the key. So if your revenue goal is, let's say $1,000 a month. We'll kind of just go for lower numbers here, just for easy purposes. So let's say you're trying to do an extra $1,000 a month, or even $10,000 a month. It is all the same. Think about and play back. And we're actually going to do this in the Divine Cash Challenge coming up February 1st. So I hope you guys are all here. But I want you to think back and really figure out, how many sales calls do I need to make that many sales in order to reach that revenue target? And then how many people do I need to invite to a sales call? How many people do I need to actually talk to be able to invite to a sales call? And we'll give you the script and all of that to be able to do that at the Divine Cash Challenge February 1st, right here in Faithful Ladypreneurs group. But really, really think about that. That is the part that you can control, is the person that you reach out to. That part is completely within my control. I can say how many people I'm going to friend each week or each day. I can say how many people I'm going to reach out to, regardless of if they respond back to me. And then from there, it's just a numbers game. So really think about your income producing activities. That is step one, is setting a goal you can control and making sure that you're focused on that. Now that target is still going to be out there, just like that ball we're going to focus on, but we are going to control the activities we can control, not necessarily our revenue target. So that's the first step here. And because of our biblical success principle of pondering the path of thy feet and let all thy ways be established, let all thy ways be established, meaning work with the Lord and say, okay, what is my target that you want me to set? And what are the goals that I need to set for myself in order to achieve that target? Really, really powerful stuff, guys. So step one is all about strategy and setting a goal you just said it in your head, control. Okay, perfect. Step two. So this is all about mindset. And if you guys know me, this is very much the type of things that I teach, of partnering with God, having that strategy, and having an empowered mindset, because you can have the best plan in the world, but if you don't have the mindset to go with it, you're going to sabotage your results. And we're going to think about this in two different ways here today, is that your mindset and your why, as a lot of people call it, is actually a double-sided coin. And we only ever talk about the motivating why, but I want you to think about your blocking why as well. So this biblical success principle for mindset, which is step number 2, is, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, which is Romans 12:2. And I love that because we can transform not only our minds with our thoughts and our feelings and our faith, but we can also transform our results. We get to transform ourselves whenever we want to, and that is so, so powerful. But in order to be able to do that transformation, we have to understand both sides of the coin. So you guys have all heard about your why until you cry, or you have to have your why stronger than your excuses. And I love all those things, but I want to break it down deeper, because that's where true transformation really is. And honestly, that's where you're stuck, is the deeper part. Like I said, regardless of if you've given up on your goal by now, with it being the 14th of January, or you're still going strong and you know that those obstacles and roadblocks are coming up, or maybe you haven't set a goal just yet. Remember, step number 1 of set a goal you can control, which is all about strategy, but step 2 is mindset. So first off is your motivating why. Why does God want you to achieve the goal and the target that you've set for yourself? Why does God want you to? Think about that. Think about why you want it. And not just that surface layer why either. If you know me, I'm all about the 5 layers deep concept, right? So ask yourself, why? Why is that important to me? Why is that important to me? Why is that important to me? And in other podcasts and things like that, I've shared with you guys my personal why, which is all about fertility and being able to fund one woman's IVF every quarter. But I didn't get there by staying on that surface. I had to dig deep and keep asking myself, why is that important to me? So what inspires you? Why do you want to achieve your goals? Why is that important to you? And what is that going to do for you and your family and those around you? Really dig deep and ask yourself your motivating why. Now, on the other side of the coin is your blocking why. Now, this is like that stepchild that nobody wants to talk about, which is terrible if you're a stepchild, so forgive me for that. But that's that blocking why people don't want to talk about because they're afraid they're going to really bring that on. And I heard the other day that worrying is actually praying for what you don't want. This is not worrying. This is coming from a place of analytics, really understanding and breaking down why you haven't achieved this goal yet or this target. So understanding your blocking why is so incredibly important. So why have you not already achieved it yet? You wouldn't be setting the goal and the target if you haven't already achieved it. What's really holding you back from achieving that? And think about it from an external and an internal standpoint, because all of our blocks are external or internal. And you'll find, as you've seen some in my other live show, is that a lot of times our external actually turns into internal or is really an internal block as we go deeper. So that 5 layers deep concept works here too. And that is so exciting because what we can do is we can say, and I'll take, for example, my network marketing goal is I was like, okay, there's something blocking me and I don't understand what, because I was a couple months into my goal and I was getting nowhere near getting that car. Even though I had set the goal and I was gung-ho, I was stuck. And so the thing is I had to ask myself, why, right? The question why is such a powerful one, especially if we keep going deeper and deeper. And so I said, okay, I haven't shown enough people, or I haven't reached this goal because I haven't shown enough people. Okay, why have I not shown enough people? And it started to uncover some fears and some doubts and some questioning of myself and things like that, right? And then, so what happened is that instead of focusing on that surface layer block, I was able to go deeper, and therefore I was able to actually change my thoughts and my actions and my results. And that's the same that you can do as well. So ask yourself, why have I not already achieved this goal? What is really holding me back? And just keep asking that why. And you can transform your mind when you focus on your motivating why and your blocking why. That is step 2, is your mindset. You guys loving this? I love it. I want to see some comments here below of what your aha moments are as I am doing this quick little training with you guys. This is good stuff, and I can't wait for you guys to apply it in your own business. Okay, step number 3 of 3 is action. Now, we've all heard of SMART goals, like I was just talking about earlier, but I want you to think about every single goal is accomplished by action steps, by fulfilling and achieving those smaller goals to be able to get to the bigger ones. And so I want you to think about your action steps as being little goals. And I want you to use the SMART model, because so many times, as I was more focused on in the corporate world, I would tell someone to increase their sales, and they'd be like, okay, I'll just follow the call script that we have. That's not measurable. That's not specific. Like, how in the world are we supposed to say, yep, check, you've done that, right? And so many times we do that with our own goals and our own action steps. So think about those action steps as those little goals, right? So we want to be specific. Okay, if you're going to show more people, like we talked about before, how many more people? Measurable. I want you to be able to say, okay, I'm giving myself a check mark every day, or I'm capturing that I've shown 5 more people every single day. I want you to set it as achievable but still stretches you, and that it's relevant and realistic and time-bound, that I'm going to increase the amount of people that I show by 5 every single day for the next week. And then when I get to that next week, then I can say, yep, check, I got that. that is going to make such a huge difference in your business, because it's so easy to say, oh yeah, I'll just do that better. Well, what in the world does that mean? And so think about when you're looking at your action steps. Of course, take it to the Lord. Every single step we want to take to the Lord, especially the one we were just talking about, asking God why He really wants you to do what He's called you to do and what's really holding you back. Why have you not already achieved that? Take those questions to the Lord in your business meetings with God, and you will be amazed at the revelation and guidance you can receive from Him. Just ask and you shall receive, right? So when we're on this action step here, is that we need to take that to the Lord as well. Think about the external blocks that are holding you back and how you can take those external steps. Think about the internal steps that we need to take. Maybe we need to study more about faith to increase that in our life and our business. And I love that because it leads us to our biblical success principle for step 3, which is action. And that's in Galatians 6:9. And it says, "Let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not." And that's what all those little steps are. By little things and by small and simple things, great things come to pass. Those little tiny action steps that you do every single day will lead to the results that you're looking for if we have that faith and that action, those works, that we are stepping in that path and following that path the best we possibly can based on what God tells us to do. And when we are measuring those things, what we measure really does expand. What we track increases. And so why not measure those little things that lead to those great things? I promise you guys that, because I've done this in my life, I've seen this in my clients, as you follow these 3 action steps, which is your strategy, set a goal you can control, your mindset of understanding your motivating why and your blocking why and digging deeper, and step 3 of taking action with your SMART action steps and taking all those steps to the Lord, you will accomplish what the Lord wants you to accomplish. As you're doing those 3 things, those are the key to accomplishing any goal, regardless of where you're at. If you've given up on it, start over again. That is the amazing thing about Christ's atonement, is that we have a new day every day because He has done that for us. If you are on your way and you're doing good on your goal, maybe step back for a second and see how you can continually motivate yourself and challenge yourself by following these 3 steps. And if you haven't set a goal yet, let's do it. Let's set that target, and then let's set that goal you can control and use these 3 steps to really take your life and your business to the next level by partnering with the Lord every step of the way. So thank you so much for being here in this mini training with me today. And I wish you all the best with your targets and your goals. And I want to hear in the comments what it is that you're going to do with these 3 action steps. Thank you so much, and we will see you next time on Divinely Driven Results.